Okay, well, it's Saturday the 18th of April, and I'm back out here this afternoon after work. This morning I was Googling the best way to hook up my illumination for my gauges here. I thought I was going to have to do it through the fuse panel, the fuse box under the dash. Very difficult to get to on this truck. And I did some Googling and I discovered something that I should have known, that you can also tap into the radio wiring harness. And if you watched my previous videos, you saw me talk about this wiring harness that is all messed up because the AM/FM radio did not work in this truck. I pulled it out and discovered this gigantic mess here. This is the harness right here. And somebody had tapped into it, trying to hook up some, I don't even know what. But it was all shorted out. The radio didn't work. The 15 amp fuse down in the box was blown. And once I saw this mess, I thought I don't want to ever deal with this thing. So I pulled the fuse out and threw it away. It has no fuse in it at all, which is a good thing because that's a real mess. But I discovered that there, and I should have known this, that there's a wire to light up the radio that's hooked into the dash lights and the parking light. And I should have known that, and it's a gray wire, and I've already cut it off here. And I've got it connected up to my test light to make sure it is the right one. So let's turn our parking lights on. Oh, there you go. Off, on, and it even is connected up to the dimmer switch as well. So that's exactly what I want. So I've got my power to my illumination. This is going to be super simple. I didn't need to run that wire all the way down to the floor like I thought. No biggie. So we'll just snip this wire off here at the length right about here and connect it up, and I've got my illumination. So let's get started on that. Okay, there's my connection. I've crimped my wire on there. That's down here and powers it. I've already tested it, and I can see just a little bit of light in there if you hold it up there at the right angle, so it appears to be good. So I'm going to put this thing back together and then kind of clean up, and I think we're pretty much done. Need to go underneath the hood for the very last video, and then we'll be done. Okay, we put everything back together here, and I have not fired this truck up today, not going to. I drove the car to work today, but I'm going to drive this in the morning, and it'll be dark when I leave here, so we'll get to see how our illumination works. So pretty happy the way this project turned out. A little disappointed that my coolant temperature gauge does not work. Not sure exactly why that is, but let's head out to the engine compartment now for the closing video. Okay, so everything's good and back together and orderly under the hood. My amp meter wiring is all secured. It's not going anywhere. And everything looks good there. My coolant temperature gauge wiring, I've wrapped it all up and kind of tucked it back there. It's not going anywhere. So maybe we'll get a chance to use that eventually if something happens to my factory gauge again. This is the sending unit that came with this aftermarket gauge. I cut it off because I thought I'd be able to just connect it up over here to the sending unit, but it didn't work, and I don't know why that is. But I'm going to keep this, just going to store it in the glove box. Cut the wire off too short, but if I ever had to use it, I could rig up something. So that's it for this project. Had a lot of fun putting these gauges in, and got to come up with some more projects for this little 91 S10 Chevy Tahoe. So for now, that's it. Thanks for watching.